Yo guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to be talking about a problem in the COD community, which is partly of the developers and partly of the community. If you enjoy, please like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. So this video was kind of inspired by my last video where I talked about G-Unit's fake nuke back in MW2. I realised in research for that video that people back then were either extremely naive, because apparently a decent amount of people believed that obviously fake video was real, or people have the nostalgia goggles on so hard that they just can't see it. Now I'm going to start with the developer side, which is actually rather simple to understand. The developers lean a bit too hard into nostalgia, and a bit is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. I mean, why were all of MW3's launch maps the OG MW2 maps? It was nostalgia. Why the hell do we get tons of remakes? Nostalgia. Hell, what was one of the reasons Modern Warfare Remastered was a thing? Nostalgia. Yeah, I personally am of the opinion that if they are going to do remakes, like of maps or whatever, they should also do it in a reimagined sense, i.e. it has the same layout but it looks different. Although MW3 is very remake heavy, as I'm sure you'll know, the original maps are actually quite good, at least in my opinion. So it shows that if they actually do new maps, that they sometimes actually are very good. Now onto the community side. So there is one thing that I constantly bring up, my assertion that people wouldn't like the original MW2 if it was released today, due to the fact that it is an extremely unbalanced and broken game. Now I know some people are going to recoil in horror and morph into the MW2 Defense Force over me just saying that, but don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying that the game is bad or you can't like it, just it's clearly flawed. Like everything. However, this benefit of the doubt isn't really afforded to modern games. I'm also not saying that these games are better by any degree. I am just saying that to hold on to harsher standards is just inconsistent at best. Nostalgia is not only reserved for COD games over a decade old, it also applies to more recent games. I mean, the principal one I can think of is paid DLC. I cannot for the life of me figure out why people would prefer paying for something over getting it for free. Especially when you take into account that we actually get a lot more content nowadays than we did previously. Now, if I'm being honest, this is probably just some weird point that doesn't really make any sense, mainly because most of these people probably have never really thought about it. They're just thinking, my favourite game had it, so it must be better. However, that's not all. I also saw a recent tweet from the Ghost of Hope, which was responding to another post, which said, like if you want the classic Battle Pass system to return with Black Ops 6. Now, outside of the fact that the Battle Pass system is a kind of weird thing to bring back, given it's just whatever. I mean, sure, the new one has its problems, like the UI isn't the greatest, and it's a little bit confusing, but it's ultimately a lot more free, if you want to say it that way. But anyway, how the hell is something that we haven't seen since 2022 classic? And it's not important enough to be instant classic. But whatever, I digress. I would like to end this by saying that nostalgia isn't necessarily bad, despite what I've just said in this video. I know that might sound strange, but I would assume the reason for this is that people just don't have the best memories. In fact, I'll give you an example. One of the first games I ever played was Mario Kart DS, and I played it again probably a few years ago, and it wasn't quite as good as I remembered it to be. It also looked pretty bad, actually. It looked a lot worse than I thought it did. But I thought it was a much better game, just based on my younger self. Anyway, if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and comment down below whatever you think about this, and yeah, bye.